There's the stat that came out of American women in the
Coco Gauff just made history by joining one of the most exclusive clubs in tennis, and most people don't even realize the magnitude of her achievement.
There's the stat that came out of American women in the Open era at Grand Slams. So those of them that played their first 100 matches at majors, Coco Gauff is right up there with a 75% win rate. So she's won at least 75 of her first 100 matches at slams. Only 4 players above her. Do you want to have a crack at naming them, Joel?
Well, surely the Williams sisters are in there.
Correct.
I wonder if Venus might be above Serena in that stat.
It's very close. I could tell you they're one win apart.
Okay.
It's actually Serena on 86 and Venus on 85.
Okay. Davenport, maybe?
She is on 75.
Okay.
So she won 75% of her first slam matches. Mary Jo Fernandez also on 75. So Coco Gauff, equals them. And Pam Shriver was on 76. But right up at the top was Chris Evert, 90.
Yes.
90 of her first 100 slam matches. She won.
That is goat.
That's arriving, isn't it?
After her first round win at the Australian Open, the stats dropped, and they're wild. Coco Gauff's Grand Slam win rate now puts her in a club with just 4 others in the Open era. Chris Evert, the Williams sisters, and now Coco herself. That's next level. Before we dive into the numbers, quick question. Do you think Coco Gauff is already on her way to becoming one of the all-time greats, or is it too early to tell? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because these stats are turning heads and making people rethink the game.
Oh, magic!
Coco Gauff just beat Kamila Rakimova 6-2, 6-3 in the first round of the Australian Open. On paper, a standard opening round win, but hidden in the post-match stats is a number that puts Coco's career trajectory into perspective. Of all American women in the Open era who've played their first 100 Grand Slam matches, Coco has won 75. That's a 75% win rate at majors through her first century of matches. Only 4 American women in history had a better record at the same milestone. Want to guess who they are? At the top, Chris Evert, with 90 wins out of her first 100 Grand Slam matches, won 9 out of every 10 at the biggest tournaments. Then Serena Williams with 86, Venus Williams with 85, and Pam Shriver with 76. Tied with Coco at 75 are Lindsay Davenport and Mary Jo Fernandez. That's the Elite 7. So when people question whether Coco is overhyped, underperforming, or not meeting expectations, the numbers say otherwise. She's tracking at the same pace as some of the greatest American players in history. Not similar, not close, the same. And here's the part that makes the rest of the women's tour sit up. Coco is just 20. She reached this milestone faster than almost anyone on that list. Only 4 players aged 21 or younger since 2000 have won 75-plus Grand Slam matches: Venus Williams, Serena Williams, Maria Sharapova, and Coco. That's the company she's keeping. Even so, some still say she hasn't proven enough. And while the scoreline looks comfortable, the match itself was far from smooth. Coco struggled early, especially on serve, with 6 double faults in the first set and a second serve win rate of just 27%. 5 of the first 7 games went to deuce, meaning she had to grind out points instead of cruising. But this is where great players separate themselves from good ones. Coco won 3 of those 5 deuce games, showing mental toughness and clutch performance under pressure. When the pressure was on, Coco found a way to close out games. That's not luck, it's mental toughness and experience. After the match, she addressed her serving struggles head-on, saying the first set jitters plus tricky sun positioning caused the early mistakes. Once she got past the initial 3 double faults, she settled in, and she was right. In the second set, she only had 1 double fault. That level of self-awareness and in-match adjustment is elite tennis. Recognize the problem, fix it, and execute. Coco did exactly that, resulting in a comfortable straight sets win. That victory improved her first-round Grand Slam record to 23-4. 23 wins in 27 first-round matches. That's an 85% win rate, where upsets often happen and young players typically falter. But Coco doesn't stumble early. She's now won 22 consecutive Grand Slam matches against players ranked outside the top 50. Her last loss at that level came 3 years ago at Wimbledon to Sofia Kenin, ranked 128th. Stretch the time frame a bit, and she's 35-1 against players outside the top 50 in Grand Slams since early exits to Sloane Stephens, 2021 U.S. Open, and Wang Chang, 2022 Australian Open. If you're a lower-ranked player hoping to upset Coco early in a major, history says good luck. She doesn't lose to players she's expected to beat anymore. This is a massive development in her game that often goes underappreciated. Early in her career, Coco occasionally dropped matches she should have won, exiting tournaments to players far below her skill level. That was a real weakness, but she fixed it completely. The numbers prove it. Coco's now one of the most reliable players on tour when it comes to taking care of business against lower-ranked opponents. Not just playing matches, she's playing the long game. Every point, every first-round test, every early challenge is treated as a stepping stone towards the ultimate goal, the title. That mindset separates the good from the great. Coco isn't content with incremental wins or praise for showing up. She's measuring success by championships, not by appearances. Reaching 250 career WTA match wins at her age, something only Caroline Wozniacki had done in the last decade, cements that she's on an elite trajectory. Hitting these milestones so early isn't just impressive, it signals consistency, durability, and the ability to handle pressure across seasons. Combine that with her mental approach, and you see why she's already operating with the confidence of a top-tier champion. Coco understands that progress is necessary but not sufficient. Every win is a baseline, every loss is a lesson, and every tournament is a step towards the ultimate measure, lifting the trophy. That's championship mentality, and at 20 years old, it shows she's thinking far beyond the first round or the next match. She's already thinking in terms of legacies. The tour makes her trajectory even more impressive. Modern women's tennis is deeper than ever. There are fewer easy matches, more power players, and more consistency across the rankings. To maintain a 75% win rate through your first 100 Grand Slam matches in this environment isn't luck, it's elite skill, preparation, and mental toughness all coming together. Coco isn't just keeping pace with legends, she's already redefining what it means to reach these milestones in the current era. She's combining raw athleticism, refined strategy, and unshakable focus in a way that puts her ahead of the curve. At 20, she's not merely participating in Grand Slams, she's competing like a seasoned champion, already writing a blueprint for dominance that most players only dream of achieving in their mid to late 20s. In short, Coco Gauff isn't building a resume, she's building a legacy. And based on these numbers, these milestones, and this mindset, the Women's Tour is witnessing someone who could dominate an era, just like Serena, Venus, and Chris Evert did before her. Exactly. That stat alone is staggering. Winning 75 Grand Slam matches at 20 years old isn't just impressive, it's almost unprecedented. Most players don't reach that milestone until they're deep into their careers, if at all. It's a concrete measure of consistency, skill, and mental toughness at the highest level of the sport. Coco's journey shows she's not just a rising star, she's already operating at a level many established pros aspire to reach. She can weather early match struggles like her serving hiccups because her game is complete. Movement, court coverage, mental focus, and tactical intelligence all compensate for temporary lapses. That's what separates elite players from the rest. The real litmus test will come when she faces top 10 opponents in the second week of majors. That's where champions are forged. Can she handle the pressure of being expected to win? Can she consistently execute her game against the best in the world? All signs so far point to yes. Her stats, her mindset, and her development trajectory say she's not just playing for experience, she's playing for titles, and history suggests she's more than capable of claiming them. Coco Gauff isn't just keeping pace with legends, she's already entering their conversation. At 20, the milestones she's hitting, the consistency she's showing, and the mental toughness she's demonstrating put her firmly in elite company. The rest of the tour should be paying attention. Coco Gauff just joined Chris Evert and the Williams sisters in one of the most exclusive statistical clubs in tennis history. At just 20 years old, she's hitting a 75% Grand Slam win rate and thinking in terms of winning titles, not just competing. Want a deep dive on her Australian Open run and whether she can actually take the trophy? Smash that like button and subscribe for championship-level tennis coverage.